Welcome to Pathways to Success, a program that supports micro, small, and medium enterprises here on the Billionario News Channel. I'm Mai Rodriguez. The shoemaking industry in Marikina began in the 1880s, and since then it has become a driver for economic growth for the city. It has since been known as the shoe capital of the Philippines, and today, Marikina's highly skilled shoemakers have perfected the process of crafting the most stylish and durable footwear in the country. Joining us in the studio is the owner of Bayani PH, one of the best shoe manufacturers in Marikina. Welcome to the show, Martin Hermy Arandia.
Hello po, good morning po, Miss Mai.
Good morning.
Opo.
Okay, first I'd like to know how you started in the shoe business. When did you start Bayani PH?
Ma'am Mai, we started po 2018 po yung shoes. Una, Ma'am Mai, kumukuha lang po kami from other manufacturers ng mga shoes. Yun po yung start namin online. Tapos po ngayon, meron na po kaming own shoe manufacturing. Kami na po yung mismong gumagawa ng mga sapatos namin.
So from online selling, tapos sa backyard nyo lang, ano?
Yes,
sa bahay?
Opo, sa bahay.
Oo.
Tapos yun po.
How much capital did you start with?
We started, ma'am, 20,000 capital lang po for our shoes. Yan. Opo. So, big leap. Kasi mahirap din yung sa amin. I'm an accountant po ako, then turn into online seller ng mga Marikina leather shoes.
Oh, ang galing from backyard selling. Tapos, nagkaroon na kayo ng sarili nyong manufacturing.
Yes, ma'am. Opo. Opo.
So, may nag-mentor ba sa'yo? Kasi meron kang, obviously, business acumen. Ang galing mo sa business. Sino yung nag-mentor sa'yo?
Nung una, ma'am, talagang lang, ako lang po muna. Then, nod sa mga Then, last year, ma'am, minentor po ako ni Boss RDR. Ayan, para po mag-expand po kami ng mga leather shoes namin, then mas magpaganda yung marketing pa namin, then yun nga, pagbebenta namin online, then pagbebenta rin namin sa store, then mga designs, lahat, packaging, tinuro niya po sa amin, ma'am.
Tell us about the name Bayani PH. It's quite catchy, tapos patriotic siya. How did you come up with the name, and can you share with us the concept behind your brand?
Opo, ma'am. May isang night kasi yun, ma'am, na nag-iisip ako ng pangalan ng brand namin, ng mga So sabi ko, ano kaya yung mga pwede kong ipangalan sa mga shoes namin? So, kasi sa dami ng style ng shoes, parang nahihirapan akong lagyan siya ng mga iba-ibang names, para maging catchy. Kasi kung ang names lang namin is yung mga existing names talaga nila, parang hindi naman siya maano sa market. So, naisip ko una, hindi ko na lang yung pangalan sa mga bayani ng Pilipinas, yung shoes. So, parang mas tumatak pa sa isip ng mga tao, mas Tapos akala ko nung una, parang ang naman, kasi syempre, yung generation namin, parang hindi na ganun yung thinking eh. So parang ang baduy ganun. So parang sabi ko baduy, pero sige, okay na kasi yun talaga yung talagang parang nasa isip ko that time. So tinuloy ko, in-start ko, tapos yun nga, hanggang sa may mga mismong kliyente na namin na nakaka-appreciate na ang ganda ng pangalan. Kasi nga Bayani, talagang naaalala namin yung mga heroes natin through your shoes.
At the same time, you're honoring, you're commemorating our heroes. Tapos catchy yung mga names, like for example, yung shoes nyo, it's named after Rizal.
Rizal, opo.
Okay, may Bonifacio.
Bonifacio. Ito, ma'am, Gregorio po itong shoes na to.
Okay. Tell us about your style also, kasi dala mo itong mga shoes on display. Did you first come out with traditional designs?
Yung mga una, ma'am, yan talaga yung mga, ito, ma'am, katulad po nitong Gregorio na wingtip. Ito po, ma'am, ito po mga design na po ito. Sinauna pa po ito, ma'am.
Yes, matagal na design na yan,
opo. So,
Gregorio.
Tinatry lang namin siyang ulit i-revive. Kasi ang ganda talaga niya, ma'am, actually. Mabenta po sa amin ito
for classic,
for wedding talaga, ma'am. Yan, lalo na tong color na to. Tapos, ma'am, ito...
Tell us about saan yung Rizal dyan?
Ito po si Rizal, ma'am. Ito po siya. Cap to plain po siya. Ayan, ito, ma'am. Simple, mga pang-office. Ito po, yan. Ito po yung mabenta rin sa amin.
Ang ganda rin. It's so clean and sleek.
Plain na plain, ma'am.
I noticed also your designs are now very modern. So how much do you rely on the trends for your designs today?
Ma'am, kasi ngayon ma'am, talagang nag-aano na kami ng mga modern na shoes. Katulad po nito is to, yan, ito. Yan. Sobrang benta po sa amin ito sa mga kabataan. Yan, lahat itong shoes na to is ranging 2.5 only. Yan ma'am, para dun sa mga gustong makakuha nito. Yan, kasi nga maraming bumibili sa amin ito na, yun nga,
For
kabataan.
school also, no?
For school, Tapos yun nga, syempre yung mga bata kasi ngayon malalaki na yung pa. Tapos gusto nila trendy na rin, syempre. Yan,
You mentioned trendy, no? Ano ba ang gusto ng kabataan
Yan,
ngayon?
ma'am.
For the younger set, I noticed yung makapal yung sole.
Yan, yan. Ito, ma'am. Katulad
it's
yan.
high
Yan siya.
sole.
Yes, yan. High sole. Tapos yan, ito. More on kasing, siya meron siyang brand talaga na pinagayaan. So, yan.
And you mentioned it starts at 2.5, your price
ma'am.
range.
Opo,
Up to how high does it go?
3.5 po itong mga riding boots namin. Then, yung mga custom size like 13, 14, and 15, pinakamahal na po is 5,000.
Ang ganda rin ng riding boots. Pag riding boots, anong
for ano yan, ma'am,
starting
for
price?
3.5 po. For motorcycle purposes po yan. May shifter pad po siya. Then, meron din po siya nitong zipper sa gilid. So, para doon sa mga nagmo-motorsiklo natin, maganda na po yung shoes namin na leather. Tapos, yun nga po, madali rin siyang hubarin. Po, kasi meron siyang zipper sa gilid.
So you
Hindi
incorporate comfortability and durability.
Yes, ma'am,
of course, when you say Marikina-made shoes, matibay yan.
Yes,
no?
ma'am. Opo. Lahat naman ng shoes namin, ma'am, lahat po yan is Blake stitch po. So, ibig sabihin, yung leather niya po and yung sole niya na nakatahi po.
Oo. Tapos, of course, handcrafted.
Yes,
Locally
ma'am.
sourced by yung materials niyo? Where do you source your
Yung
materials?
leather po, ma'am, we sourced it sa Bulacan po, yung mga tannery po sa Bulacan. Yan po ang natin. So, lahat po ng leather natin is locally manufactured dito. Kagaya po, ito pong rubber sole na ito is locally manufactured din po. Pero ito pong mga leather soles natin po is imported po ito galing ng Pakistan or China or Europe. Yan po, ito po. Yan. So, ito po mga rubbers, yan, galing po ito rin dito. So, locally, almost lahat po ng shoes natin is locally sourced po. Para din po, syempre, makatulong din po tayo sa ibang mga nagmamanufacture dito sa ating sa Pilipinas.
So let's give a bit of a historical background. In the 1930s, there were 139 shops producing hundreds of thousands of shoes in Marikina, which gave employment to thousands of Filipinos. But in the years after World War II, the industry encountered ups and downs, facing challenges such as trade liberalization and the influx of cheap footwear. And in 2004, Republic Act 9290 supported efforts to bring back the glorious days of the Marikina shoe industry, establishing the Marikina Shoe Industry Development Council. So tell us, Martin, fast forward to today, kamusta na ang industriya ngayon?
Actually, ma'am, okay naman po yung industry ngayon. Ang problema lang po talaga is yung mga murang mga China products na nakakapasok dito sa natin. Actually, ang local government ng Marikina is talagang todo suporta sila. Actually, ngayon ma'am, meron kaming bazaar na shoe bazaar na nagaganap. Back to school siya sa may Freedom Park sa may Marikina. Talagang LGU is talagang pilit nilang tinutulungan ang mga shoemakers na kagaya namin na makabenta, makabangon sa mga nangyari for the past few years. Pero yun ma'am, syempre, iba pa rin talaga na matulungan ka ng national government na doon sa mga pumapasok na imported dito na mga sapatos.
So for now, the support that you're getting is from the local government?
LGU, yes ma'am.
Okay. In terms of mga shows, expos,
yes, ma'am.
so you can showcase your products?
Yes, ma'am. So sana yun nga, ma'am. Meron din sigurong mga ma'am, yung mga sana magkaroon yung mga DTI ganyan ng bazaars from other cities naman, syempre, para rin ma-cater namin yung ibang mga ibang lugar. Syempre, hirap naman ng puro taga Marikina lang din nakakasuot ng mga Marikina-made shoes.
So, is the market expanding as of now? Kasi with the many campaigns urging consumers to support local, mas marami na ba ngayon yung bumibili ng locally made shoes?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, talaga natuto na rin yung mga kapwa natin Pilipino na talagang bumili ng Marikina Mages. Kasi sinasabi nga nila, kapag bumibili sila ng sapatos outside Marikina, ang bilis daw masira, yung mga swelas, tatanggal agad. Alay kasi ng gawang Marikina talaga, is sabi nga ng mga ibang kliyente namin, nagsasawa na lang sila talaga, kaya bumibili sila ng bago doon ng sapatos namin, ma'am. So, para may kapalitan na lang yung shoes na ginagamit nila.
Okay, give us an idea how to operate or run a shoe business. Ano yung day-to-day problems mo and how do you go about it? How do you, yung mga challenges, how do you go above it?
Yun ma'am, syempre unang-una dapat magkaroon sila ng mga lehitimong suppliers. Syempre, ang hirap kasi na mismong supplier mo is hindi ka rin kaya supplyan talaga nung mga kailangan mong materials. Tapos syempre, mga tao, sa mga tauhan nyo, sa mga workers ninyo, yun, kailangan talaga ng trust. Then, talagang kailangan na kahit wala ka, kahit ngayon nandito ako, nandun sila sa factory, naggagawa pa rin sila ng mga shoes. Kumbaga, kailangan talaga ng maiband nyo yung sarili nyo sa mga workers ninyo. Tapos yun, syempre, marketing ng mga shoes, syempre, kailangan, kapag may nagagawang shoes, kailangan din, may na-out din kami shoes. So, hindi na siya natatapos from dun sa factory talaga. So, kailangan, pag na-out namin yung sapatos, kailangan, may bibigyan na rin namin sa mga end users.
Right. Okay, we have so much more to talk about the shoe business, but we have to take a short break. When we return, let's talk about how the business of shoemaking is staying alive. Keep it here on Pathways to Success. Welcome back to Pathways to Success. We are still with the owner of Bayani PH, Martin Arandia. So Martin, let's talk about the world of online selling naman. Ano? So I find that more and more people these days prefer to shop online. So where do you get most of your sales? Online ba or dun sa physical store mo? At nangyari yan, you mentioned, during the pandemic,
Yes,
ano?
opo.
Doon lumakas yung online store mo.
Yung ma'am, kung ano ang mas malakas ngayon, actually, parehas lang, ma'am. Kasi yung ibang mga tao talaga, mas more on gustong na, siyempre shoes. Gusto nila na susukat, nakikita muna. Kasi nga, dala na yung mga tao sa, pagka yung dumating sa picture, okay. Pero pag dumating yung item, hindi okay. Hindi na same nung sa picture. So, kung in terms of sales, malakas yung store namin, then malakas din po dun sa bazaar namin ngayon na supported ng local government ng Marikina. Plus, malalakas din talaga dun, ma'am, sa mga online namin like sa Shopee, Lazada, ganyan. Dun siya okay na talaga. Pero in terms of yun nga, syempre, dumating naman sa mga clients namin na hindi kasya sa kanila yung shoes, we offer naman exchange size ng mga na-order nilang May after service pa rin naman kaming ibinibigay sa mga kliyente namin nakabilib na ng shoes namin, ma'am.
Mas may demand ba for custom-made shoes? You mentioned kanina yung mga grooms.
Yes, ma'am.
Di ba, pag may wedding, doon lumakas yung business mo.
Opo.
Did they prefer custom-made?
Prefer nila, ma'am, yung mga ready-made na. Plus, pinalalagyan na lang po nila ng engrave sa ilalim ng shoes. Nilalagyan na lang yung names nila, kung ano yung nila, kung kailan yung wedding nila, kung ano yung mga hashtags nila or something, ganyan. Pero much more on prefer talaga nila yung ready-made na po kasi nga dahil minsan iba malalayo yung lugar like Laguna, Cavite, Pampanga, yan yung mga pumupunta ng Marikina, ma'am, to makita lang nila yung products namin talaga. Then makabili lang din sila. Then syempre, ma'am, ang hirap naman ng pagka darating yung is i-shift pa namin sa kanila yung sapatos. Unlike kapag nakuha na nila agad yung gusto nila.
So now, nung nakilala na yung brand mo, there are several politicians, businessmen, athletes, yung mga influencers, no, wearing your shoes. Has the influencer trend helped your business? May mga upside and downside ba yan?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, ang ganda talaga ng ngayon ng pagma-marketing namin kasi nga yun nga, meron tayong mga influencers, may mga yun nga si Senator JB na gamit niya sa SONA nung nakaraan yung isang shoes namin. Okay talaga yung natutulong ng social media nowadays sa pagma-market ng mga sapatos namin. Talagang siguro ang downside lang talaga is yung lumalakas. Hindi man ang downside lang talaga, nawawalan kami ng stock.
Malakas yung demand.
Malakas yung demand talaga, pero yun nga
you really
talaga.
have to keep up
Yes,
with
talaga
the demand.
ma'am. Opo. Yung nagagalit yung ibang clients, bakit daw wala kaming stock nung ganito.
Kailangan lang nila maghintay, no, for the stock.
Yes, opo ma'am. Kasi hirap kasi talaga sa dami ng nag-order, sa dami ng gustong makabili. Syempre ma'am, since kasi nga, ang gusto talaga namin i-keep dito is yung quality ng shoes namin. Then talagang pinapanindigan namin na Marikina made, matibay.
Yes.
So ayaw namin madaliin yung mga, every pair ng shoes, ayaw namin madaliin
Of course, that's how you keep the products world class.
Yes, ma'am.
Diba? But also, yung shoe business, it's a tough business, ano? How do you stay ahead of the competition?
Siguro ma'am, stay ahead kasi yung kinikip namin yung branding namin. Plus yun talaga yun nga ma'am, quality itself. Siyempre, yun nga, ang pinakamagandang marketing mo is yung word of mouth ng mga kliyente mo. So dito punta kayo matibay yung sapatos diyan, dito punta kayo kasi mabilis yung deliver, mabilis yung may after service, pagka mali yung mga size. So doon ma'am siguro kami nag-aano na yung bayani talaga is kinikater talaga lahat ng halos problema ng bawat kliyente.
You take care of your customers kasi syempre kung may isosoli sila, ibang size yung gusto nila, syempre you respond to that.
Yes, ma'am. Pero yun na nga lang, syempre meron tayong mga policies na hanggang 7 days lang yung replacement. Syempre nakalagay naman po yan sa batas natin. So yun nga lang, hindi na siya pwede isole pagka yung nagamit na, ganyan. No, po.
Ano pa yung growth opportunities na ine-explore ninyo? Kasi I noticed, meron naman kayong ladies line, ano, pero hindi mo lang dala.
Yes.
Is there room to expand your ladies shoes?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Actually, ang dami talagang nag-PPM sa amin. Do you sell ladies shoes? Ganyan. Yes, we have po ladies shoes. Pero sa ngayon po kasi talaga, mas nakafocus kami sa men's. Dahil yung men's shoes pa lang po namin is sobra na yung demand. So, kasi si Bayani naman is hindi naman siya, more on, yun nga lang, kailangan lang talaga ng mas maano pang pag-aaral para dun sa mga ladies, syempre, kasi hindi naman pwede basta-basta pasukin namin yung ganung ma'am. Tapos nang hindi namin pinag-aaralan muna yung paggawa ng shoes. Iba kasi yung ladies
Men's shoes pa lang, malakas na yung demand.
Yes, ma'am.
So before we let you go, Martin, can you share some tips for those who are thinking of starting a shoe business?
Yes, yun, siguro lakas ng loob. Talaga naman kahit anong business, lakas lang ng loob. Siyempre, magdasal, siya tayo kay Lord. Siyempre, siya ang magbibigay sa atin ng blessings. Then yun, pag-isipan ng mabuti kung saan ka magaling, kung saan ka okay na business, kung saan mo tingin mag-excel ka. Kasi kami, from Marikina talaga. So, talagang wala nang ibang kinikater ang Marikina kundi shoes. So, doon namin, excuse me, doon namin na yung shoes talaga ang naming ibenta talaga.
Where can they contact you and imbitahan mo naman sila sa physical store ninyo. Saan ba yung store ninyo sa Marikina?
Yun po, sa mga gusto pong makabili ng shoes namin online and then sa physical store, you may visit us at 415 General Ordonez Street, Barangay Marikina Heights, Marikina City. Yan.
Ayan. Maraming salamat, Martin. Thank you for your time with us today. Now we are taking another short break, and when we return, we will talk about the action plans of the government for entrepreneurs who are in the shoemaking business. Keep it here on Pathways to Success. Welcome back to Pathways to Success. Let's now talk about the concerns of the local shoe industry and what kind of support are they getting from the government. Joining us on the phone, the Department of Trade and Industry NCR Office Regional Director, Mr. Winston Singun. Good morning, Mr. Singun.
Yes, good morning po sa inyo at sa ating mga listeners.
Good morning, Mr. Singun. Are you on the line, sir?
Yes, that's Winston Singun po. Singun, my name is pronounced Singun.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Singun. Okay.
Yes.
Earlier, sir, we were talking to the owner of Bayani PH. They're one of the few local shoe manufacturers who are trying to keep the local shoe industry alive. So he mentioned one of the challenges they are facing is the influx of cheap shoes, the cheap footwear from China and other countries. What kind of support can they expect from the national government and from the DTI to help them with that problem?
Yes, exactly. No? I caught the tail end of your interview with Martin of Bayani. Tama siya doon, and right, that's the concern. For most is the cheap products coming from abroad that are competing with our local products, and another one is of course the raw material din, no? So to address this, ang gobyerno through the DTI, particularly yung aming Center for Innovation and Technology Enterprises located in Marikina, we have actually there located the Philippine Footwear Academy, or the PFA. That is for the training of job-ready workers for the industry. Another is we have there what we call a shared service facility for high-value custom-made footwear. And the third response, this will be an answer to the problem of raw materials and even the competition is the crafting of a Philippine footwear industry roadmap. Kailangan natin ito. So, we understand na talagang medyo challenging na itong environment na tissue industry ngayon. So, these are some of the programs that the government through DTI is offering to the industry.
So, you mentioned a roadmap, sir. Would this address a sustainable path to help develop the Philippine shoe industry?
Yeah, it should. It should be. It should have a value. We call it a value chain analysis para makita natin saan tayo pwedeng pumasok. Because one of the recommendations really is for us to find kung ano yung mga gaps and fill in these gaps or find our need. And I'm very, very happy to note na yung sinabi kanina ng Bayani, tama siya doon. Because a few of them in Marikina are actually thriving now. Because the approach is to take advantage of pricing, marketing, distribution, mga iba-ibang mga opportunities ngayon ng online.
Yes.
We cannot maybe compete with the cheap ones, but we can it's quality and nagiging artisan ng ating mga shoe manufacturers, yung traditions natin, yun ang ating parang gawing capital.
So despite the influx of cheaper footwear from China or Vietnam, at least consumers, when they buy local, when they buy shoes from Marikina, they are assured of quality and durability, right?
Tama ka doon, no? So we need to innovate on the design and the production process. Doon na papasok yung ating facility sa Marikina. Kasi that's a state of the art, that's a 100 million facility na pwede silang magpagawa doon ng customized design, ng shoe last o yung ulma. Pwedeng may scanner na rin tayo doon para fit yung taam sa sapatos. And yun nga yung academy, meron tayong mga expert na magtuturo sa mga potential and existing workers natin para lalo pang ma-improve yung competencies nila.
Okay, maraming salamat. Thank you, Mr. Winston Singun from the DTI. Thank you for joining us on the line. And that is our episode for today on Pathways to Success. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Tune in again tomorrow here on the Billionario News Channel.